So December the 3rd, a normal day, I guess. Went into work. 19 years I've done in the Met now. I know I don't look old enough, but yeah, I'm just coming up for my 20th year. Went into work, didn't feel any different, normal kind of shift. And then sort of halfway through the shift, started to get some pins and needles, started to get a bit of numbness just it was in my right side to start with my right foot. And just put it down to kind of work related, just maybe I'd knocked it or caused it on the way I'd been sitting, didn't really think anything of it. You know, we get little niggles and we just kind of push them to one side, and we, you know, I went home that evening. I thought I'd sleep on it, it would go. And the next day I woke up and I'd still had it, and went back into work. And it was at that point where I was advised to go to the hospital, which I did. And after some tests and getting booked in, I was informed that I'd had a stroke, or I was having a stroke, or so. I didn't have any of the symptoms that you see on on social media and on the news about your face dropping, your slurred speech, and all of the stuff that's put out. I didn't have any of them symptoms, just the numbness and the pins and needles. So I didn't kind of correlate that with having a stroke. It wasn't an automatic thing to think, oh, I've got a numbness or pins and needles, I must be having a stroke. It wasn't until I got to the hospital and I'd had a CT scan and been kept in that they'd found out that I'd had a stroke. So I think to start with, I got to the hospital and I was having tests, and I kind of put it down to having a migraine, or I didn't think it was going to be a stroke. My blood pressure was high after the tests, or they'd done tests. I had high blood pressure, but it was never kind of crossed my mind really that I was going to be kept in for 5 days in a ward in hospital during the middle of the pandemic, which is in itself a scary place to be. Let alone being told that you've had a stroke. So yeah, well, I think worried is a term I would probably use.
Yeah.
I think my dad suffered from heart issues previously, but I've had so many tests whilst being in hospital, and then the last 6 months, MRIs, CT scans. I've had tests on my heart, blood tests. I've lost count how many blood tests, and everything has come back as normal. So at the moment, they can't pinpoint what caused it. I think it's probably a culmination of things. So we're probably looking at possible hereditary family history, high blood pressure. I know my blood pressure was quite high. Maybe my diet. Lots of little things. I think that, you know, and then it just got to a stage where that was it on that day at that time. Whatever I was doing, and it caused it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I've got the most stressful job out there. A lot of people have important jobs and stressful jobs. Of course they do. And was I fit and healthy? I thought I was fit and healthy. I was a lot bigger than I am now, but I'm sure we'll come on to that. Yeah, I was possibly a bit overweight, or a lot overweight, but I wasn't fat overweight. I was quite muscly or quite large. That makes sense. I was fit. Yeah, I was fit enough to do the job. I would exercise at home and work out. So um, yeah, there was nothing that led me to believe it was coming.
Right.
I think to start with, I wanted to know why, you know, and I kind of hoped that all of the tests I was having, they would turn around and say, you had it, you had the stroke because of this, you know, so I could kind of maybe some reasoning to it, or, you know, I had a stroke because I had something wrong with me, or there was an issue. So I could, you know, just so it's more black and white, so I could kind of figure it out. And as we went along with each test that happened, it was like, no, that one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine. Which was kind of a little bit frustrating because I still don't know what's caused it, which kind of makes it harder to move forward, because to try and figure out what I'd done wrong beforehand to make sure I don't do it again. So my blood pressure was high the day I went into hospital. And I think that's the thing that people probably don't get checked as much as they should. So you're not really going to know it's too high until it's too late. Maybe my diet, I thought my diet was quite good, but maybe not the greatest looking back on it. So I think it was a few little things had all managed to build up to that point. But I've changed a lot since then. The first 2 or 3 weeks was so difficult for me, not physically, because it really, having a stroke takes it out of you physically. It, you know, really drains you. So, but also psychologically and mentally, you know, I wasn't in a good place. It was a bit of a dark place, I think, for me. Um, and that's because you don't know. I didn't know what's going to happen. I didn't know, because I didn't know what had caused it or why I'd had it or how bad it was, you know. And there was going to have another one. Would the next one be worse? You know, would I make it through the night, type thing? And for the first 2 or 3 weeks, it wasn't good. But then I kind of had a sort of heart to heart with myself, and you know, just talk to myself. And the only person that was going to change it or that could do anything was me. The only person that could eat better was me, or lose weight was me, and be healthier was me. The only person that could change my lifestyle was me. And I had to give myself a bit of a kick up the backside, if I can say that. And then, you know, I had to do it. I couldn't wallow in kind of a bit of self-pity that I was, or I had to really make that effort and move forward. So I used to do weight, and if you'd have seen me at 19 and a half stone, you wouldn't have said, wow, look at him, he's 19 and a half stone. I looked all right for 19 and a half stone. So I wasn't massively overweight. I carried it well, if I can humbly say that. I think I carried it okay.
So
I'm always told I'm quite a stubborn person, so I think that helps. You know, when I come out of hospital and I was told my BMI was high, my blood pressure was high, and I was overweight for my height. I needed to lose weight. All of these things. That's kind of the only thing I could take out of that. So after a couple of weeks of feeling sorry for myself, and I just decided to get up, and it sounds silly, but I just started to walk. I just went just walking. That is, and I can hand on heart say, up to this point, that is the only thing that is all that I did to lose. Well, with a diet, so with a healthier lifestyle, a healthier diet, kind of watching my calories, cutting out certain foods and stuff, or the foods that I used to eat. But exercise-wise, with walking every day, you know, and I know people will sometimes dismiss walking as, oh, it doesn't do anything, it's no good. But you know, for weight loss and for getting some fresh air and just having some, you know, some time to think, it's done me a world of good. It really has. If I tell someone I've had a stroke, they no, you know, because I still have, there's still effects from it. I still have, you know, effects from the stroke. But to look at me, you wouldn't notice that I'd had one.
Not at all. Not at
But
all.
if you've been, I'm saying that the first day that I went out for a walk, I couldn't make it to the end of my estate and back. And like you just said a few minutes ago about people giving up and feeling demoralised, and you know, it's a massive issue because people fall at the first hurdle because they don't feel that they can do it. But you've just got to carry on, because you know it's every day's a new day, and then you just go again and you go again, and it gets easier.
Yes.
It does get easier. Just
That's
got to keep doing it.
fascinating.
And even with this, the way I've been treated and looked after, I can't fault them. I really can't. So they've been good to me during this, and that's helped with my recovery massively. So if I didn't have the support of work, I would have found it 100 times harder to kind of have the recovery that I've had, I think. So you've got to have a why. That I have a why. You know, my why I was doing it is for my family, you know, for my partner and for my little boy. So they've got a husband and a dad, and you know, because I could see how upset they were when I was in hospital and when I'd come out, and not only did I have to look at how it had affected me emotionally and physically, but how it was affecting them as well. And you know, I have to do it. It wasn't it's not a faddy diet or something that I'm not going to stick to. I need to be around for them. So that's my why. That's why um, that's why I go out for a walk when it's raining or it's snowing. That's why I go on the exercise bike. That's why I don't eat the stuff that I ate before. You know, to be a better father, to be a good husband, and you know, to be healthier, and not just for them, but for the rest of my family. For my mum, my mum's getting older. I need to be around to look after her when she's older. My sister, friends, my work colleagues want me back, and I can't let them down. So there has to be. I had to find a reason. There had to be, you know, I had to focus on, you know, my why, and that for me that was it, and it still is, and it's still an ongoing thing. So it's a completely new chapter for me, and it's I'm not going to go back to the old me. This is the new me now. So, but that's why I do it. That's why I stuck to it. That's probably better. I did it because I wanted to stay alive. But the reason I stuck to it is for my family, and that reason, to be around for them. So it's not been easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say it's been easy. It's been difficult, but my why was more important than the difficult. You know, I had to battle through the difficulties, because the why at the end of it is the most important thing. If someone had said to me at the very beginning, "You're going to lose 7 stone," I would have been, be ridiculous. It was never about the long game, because sometimes if you look too far in the future, it's unobtainable, or you don't feel that it's achievable. It was always about small steps. It was always about, I kind of wanted to do, like I said, the first day I could just about get to the end of the estate and back, and it was always about getting my steps in. And it was, like Donald said, it was just, what can I do today? I'm going to go and do my steps today, and then tomorrow, how do I feel? And I'm going to go and do my steps tomorrow, or I want to lose 4 pounds this week. And it was always small, achievable steps, because when you achieve, if you set the small steps, when you achieve that, it just gives you motivation to carry on and do the next one. Whereas if you set goals too far in the distance, you never quite get to it, and then that's when people get demotivated. But if you just tiny steps, tiny little goals, and that just gives you a boost and helps you stay motivated to move on to the next one, and to carry on and to carry on. So
Lee,
when Rick suggested doing this, it was, and I didn't hesitate, because I wanted to do it. And if it just helped one person, that's important for me now. I think I have a bit of a new outlook on life, and to try and give a little bit more, to try and help, and I think that's important. But my partner is come on the journey with me, so a healthier lifestyle. She's a paramedic, so a healthier lifestyle, healthier eating. My mum and sister have also come on board, and they're doing that. And I know Rick, like Rick was saying, I've helped motivate him and he's lost 24 pounds since April, which is amazing. And just a quick story. I started selling off, or sold some of my my iron weight, some of my heavier gym stuff, because I'm more cardio based now. And sold some weights to a lady online who'd been in a car accident, and she couldn't do cardio, but she was told by the doctor to do some weights. So I met her, took the weights to her. She couldn't drive too far. We just ended up chatting, and told her my story. And a couple of days later, I got an email from her saying how I'd motivated her to carry on, and how my story was inspiring. It all brought a tear to my eye. But just felt nice. It felt good. I was shocked. I didn't think me just saying what had happened to me would cause someone to feel like that. But yeah, she's carried on, and she's on her weight loss journey and her recovery journey from the car accident. So something good has come out of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I started with the walking and the sort of taking some time to myself, it was good. But like Rick said, I wanted to fill myself with positivity and in my goal to move forward. So a lot of motivational podcasts and speakers. So people like Eric Thomas, Les Brown, numerous sort of other people, very influential motivational speakers. And it really helped. I think it really helped, because it kind of it's on in the background, but it's just giving you that, just them speeches and that positive vibe, just to keep going. And I still listen to it now. I think it's important. It's an important thing for me, or it has been an important thing for me. It's very uplifting. And if you're not really feeling it, or you're not having a good day, if you just pop that on for 5-10 minutes, it might give you the boost you need to put your trainers on and your walking boots and get out there, I think. So I wish it hadn't have taken me having a stroke to realise what's important in my life. So yeah, if I could say one thing, is would be, don't leave it till it's too late.